Hey everyone, it's Sunflower Spirit here, and I'm here to do a collective reading. This reading is going to be for this full moon in Aries, which is happening the 6th or 7th, depending on where you are in the world. Today is October 5th. So let's take Energy Oracle and see kind of like what the overall energy is for the collective for this full moon in Aries. We have women holding a coin. All right. Let's see what else we have. We have a woman holding a heart. Wow. So work and love, finances and love, it looks like. What else for everyone for this full moon in Aries energy, please? What else for everyone? This full moon in Aries energy. We have happy family. And then on the back, we have attachment. All right. So I'm getting a pretty clear picture already. This is going to be about this full moon for everyone is going to be about empowering yourself with your physical stability, empowering yourself with your emotions. This is about kind of like getting it all, being stable, being aligned. So being in alignment is really important. If you're struggling, I would really check in with those chakra areas and see, are you aligned? Um, we're also seeing maybe some attachment issues. So maybe there's something that you need to let go concerning your coins or your heart or your family potentially. There's something here that you're kind of holding on to that isn't serving you. So it's about empowering yourself to kind of like let it go, which is really interesting because that is essentially like the energy of the Aries full moon. So I'm not surprised at all to see this. This is awesome. We have the third chakra, which is the solar plexus chakra. So yeah, self-empowerment, it's about feeling secure in yourself. How do you get to feeling secure? What do you need to release? What do you need to let go of to to feel secure with your finances, with your work, with your job, with your love life, with your emotions, with your family life? Because it's showing me that you are stable. I think this is interesting. We have 42444. So 444 that's about stability, but you could Google that if you wanted. Then we have a 5, which is about change and sometimes struggle. So maybe somebody's like holding on to something, they need to let go. But wow, this is amazing so far. So let's go ahead and I will pull some tarot and see if anything else of interest comes out for this full moon in Aries. I already love it. I love this energy of like self-empowerment, of figuring out what you need to release, to feel empowered. And being empowered means what? Well, it means that you don't feel like, it means that you feel like you have some say over, your life, that you feel like the things that you're doing are contributing to the way that you want to continue moving or working within your life. Um, it's about recognizing like what you have control over and what you don't have control over. And so kind of like releasing those things that are outside or beyond your control. So beautiful. What is the message for everyone for this full moon in Aries, please? We have 8 of Pentacles. Whoops, let me get it in frame for you. What else do we have? We have Page of Swords. I'm just going to lay them out and then I'll talk about them. I know I usually talk about them first, but I don't know. I was just called to do it this way. We have Page of Wands. Coming out. What else do we have for everybody for this full moon in Aries? we have Eight of Wands. And we have Ace of Pentacles. Not surprised to see all these wands with Aries energy. That's going to be fire energy. Wands are fire energy. What else do we have for everyone, please? The Wheel of Fortune. Nice. More fire energy. That's going to be Jupiter in, which is Sagittarius energy. What else do we have for everyone, please? We have the Five of Cups. And what other messages do we have for everyone, please? We have the Five of Swords. So yeah, a little bit of struggle in there. I don't think it's too big. Let's take a look here. We have the Four of Swords on the back of the deck. All right, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. All right, so we have the Wheel of Fortune here is the major arcana. So we have some big changes coming up. I feel like this is an opportunity that's positive. It's something that you've been working on, something that you've been researching, you've been maybe going to school for, you've been getting like continuing education or professional development for I mean, it doesn't have to be at work or anything, but it's something that you've been working on. You've been learning, you've been researching, you've been putting effort into finding out information, basically. And so this is a change that the universe is offering you. The universe says yes to this. And so you are having, this is a time, this full moon is a very potent potential time for you to make these positive changes. So what does this look like? Well, I am seeing work here. It doesn't have to be work. It could simply be something that you're working on, but something that you've worked on, something, it could be school, it could be work, it could be, you know, something in your life, it could be your home, building a home, whatever. You take it as it resonates. This is a general reading, so there's more than one option here for this. But you've been working on something really hard. You've been working on this for a while. And what it's bringing is this new opportunity, this new, really kind of fertile potential growth opportunity where it's going to be something stable. It's not just like an opportunity that you know, is going to go away after a while. It's really grounded because we have this seed here. We have the Ace of Pentacles that looks like a little seedling with the roots growing out of it. So you've put some roots into something. Whatever this is, like I said, you've been learning, you've been working to master this skill, you've been working on expanding your knowledge on the topic. And so universe is saying, now, you know, with this Jupiter energy, Jupiter is all about like expansion and growth and opportunity. So you're being offered an opportunity to change something, like a pretty big change, a pretty big positive change. We also have, this is something that you're like really excited about, something that you're passionate about. I do see there's some sort of loss or disappointment associated with this. The reason that there's loss and disappointment associated with this is because remember we got that attachment card. There's something that you're holding on to that isn't serving this process, this change process. So you need to let that go. That could be something like your emotions. It could be a thought. It could be a way of doing something. It could be a perception, an opinion. It really, you know, I think it has to do with some part of like what you're passionate about. That's kind of what it looks like. There's something that you need to transform with your passions here. It's not that your passions are bad, but there's something that needs to be transformed with the passions. Then we also have, you know, you're going to be receiving a lot of communication regarding this change, a lot of communication, a lot of movement. You could be like physically like moving or traveling, or it could just be like a lot of emails, text messages, phone calls, you know, communicating with people, which not everybody's going to agree with you. So I feel like we have this Five of Swords here because, you're kind of in your head about like, should I do that? Like there's some self-doubt, I feel like. I feel like you're getting so much communication, it could be a little overwhelming, and maybe it's causing a little bit of self-doubt, especially with the thing that you have to release. You're kind of wondering, like, is this the right direction to go? They're saying that it is. Um, but they're saying what you really need to work on your self-care. You need to talk to somebody you trust, talk to a trusted friend, a counselor, um, journaling, you could journal, you could just sit there and think about it, process it. They're saying like really, really process this, really think about this. Um, and so we're seeing this, you've worked really hard, you put a lot of effort into something, you've really expanded your knowledge and you're working on expanding your knowledge. Um, you're really passionate about this and you're really excited and passionate about when you talk to other people and communicate with this. Um, this is a stable offer, stable opportunity. Um, universe is offering you, positive change. There's a couple, your thoughts and your emotions are kind of playing together. They're kind of, causing a little bit of self-doubt, maybe causing a little bit of disappointment because maybe there's something you have to let go that it feels uncomfortable to let go. But let's go ahead and um, let's clarify and see if there's anything else that comes out. I think we have a pretty good picture here. And with the cards that we got previously with the energy oracle, it's showing that this could have to deal with your physical world stability, your emotional stability. It also has to do with your self confidence, self-perception, and how you relate to the world and other people around you. So show me more about this Eight of Pentacles, please. What is this Eight of Pentacles energy for everybody for this full moon in Aries, please? What is this Eight of Pentacles for everybody for this full moon in Aries, please? We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. Yeah, so you've invested in something, but there's also something that you have to walk away from. So whatever it is that you're working on, they're saying that like, you did invest really in a lot. You're waiting to see kind of like the fruit of your labor with this, but you also need to be mindful of how your thoughts and emotions are interacting, kind of what we saw with the Five of Cups and the Five of Swords. So the Six of Swords is saying like move on from those emotions that don't serve you, move on to kind of like calmer, more peaceful thoughts and emotions. That's going to really help you get what you want here. So what's this Page of Swords energy for this full moon in Aries for everybody? We have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, so again, another new passionate beginning. You've really worked hard, you've really put in the effort, you've been a student of whatever you've been trying to accomplish here. And you've been learning a lot. And this is something that, you're going to have this awesome, inspirational new beginning here. There's an opportunity here for a new beginning. What is this Page of Wands for everyone, please? What is this Page of Wands for everybody, please? We have the Six of Cups. So yeah, you do have some sort of like emotional tie to like this passion. This could be something, I'm kind of getting something from childhood, like a childhood dream coming true. But you didn't realize it was going to be maybe it's a little more disappointing than you thought, which that happens in life a lot. Sometimes when we get the things that we've always dreamed about, there's something else that we have to let go or something that doesn't work quite the way that we thought it would. And so it doesn't come into fruition the way that we thought it would. But that doesn't mean it's not a good opportunity. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't have invested your time in it. That's just life. That's just part of being human. So this is something like that gives you a lot of hope, harmony, and joy. But there's also kind of like that flip side of where it feels a little uncomfortable because, you are maybe going towards this opportunity, you have to release something else that you really were passionate about too. What's this Eight of Wands energy here for, please? What is this Eight of Wands here for? We have the Eight of Wands. Yeah, so they're just saying, like, what I was telling you earlier is accurate, like just a lot happening, maybe like almost overwhelming, almost to the point of overwhelm because there's so much communication, there's so much energy moving, there's so much, wands are all about the energy. So it's that inspiration, it's that motivation, it's that passion, it's that drive, that desire. And so there's a lot of this going on right now. So it could potentially be a little overwhelming. Um, which could lead you to, this sort of like self-doubt. But don't let that get to you. Don't let that, because, I see much more positive things here than that. What is this Ace of Pentacles for everybody? We have the Page of Swords again. So just kind of like repeating. So the reason why are you getting this opportunity? Because you've looked into all this stuff. You've really tried to do your research. You tried to do your homework. You've really tried to put yourself out there and learn new things. And they're saying, yeah, you have successfully invested in this. You just need to kind of watch your thoughts and emotions with this. You've put in the work, you put in the effort, that you're totally deserving of this. And now you're going to see the fruits of that labor. What is the Wheel of Fortune here for, please? We have the Five of Swords. So there's, okay, so here's the thing about this. So you're being offered this opportunity. This is like an opportunity of a lifetime, right? You're offered positive change. There's some positive change, something you've been really looking into, really researching, really going to school for, or doing your own kind of learning on the side for something that you've been passionate and motivated for. You're wondering, like, there's sort of like this letdown, and sometimes this happens with this. There's sort of this letdown where you're kind of like in your head, you might be listening to people or things that you shouldn't be. Maybe there's some haters in there who are like trying to knock you down a peg or something, and they're saying no, like you got to just go with it. Go with the universe is saying yes to this. You've done your homework, you've done your research, you know what you're talking about. Don't let anyone else try to tell you differently. What is this Five of Cups energy for everybody, please? We have the Hermit. Yeah, so the Hermit's about like going deep within and really trying to pull from within. It's trying to really like be contemplative and like introspective about it. So yeah, you're like looking at these emotions and they're saying like you need to really like focus, like where are these emotions coming from? Like what is this coming from? They're saying too, this is just like a side message for someone, but they're saying that for someone the Five of Cups is coming from a place of like an inner child wounding, which um in like our world today or whatever, that would be like some sort of like childhood trauma response. So the Five of Cups is not coming from a place of like um what's actually happening. It's more coming from this learned response that hasn't done you well for your life. And so that's why they're saying you really need to, this is about healing, like the Hermit can be about healing. So it's really like, what do you need to heal? Like you're still passionate about this, you still have this drive, you still have this like childlike energy. Look at this childlike energy. I have 2 pages, I have the Six of Cups. It's all about childlike energy. So there's something here where like inner child needs are not getting met. So you could just check in with your inner child. Hey, it looks like, there's an emotional response to this. What is that? Or it could be, if you like to go the other route, it doesn't matter how you do it, you could check in with your kind of like trauma response. Why am I having this emotional response? Why am I disappointed when the universe is offering me everything? Why do I have conflicting thoughts and conflicting emotions about that? And just kind of look into it like that. That's why they're saying like talk to somebody you trust, um like a counselor, therapist, or a good friend, somebody you trust. What's this Five of Swords energy, please? We have the Moon. Yeah, so you're okay. So the moon is like you're wondering with all this like commotion going on here, with all this kind of like communication and so many things coming at you, feeling like there's a lot going on, feeling like you're getting like all this different communication from all sides of everything. It's confusing. So you're kind of wondering like, is this an illusion? It's not an illusion. But you need to look in, that's why they're saying with both of these, we're seeing look into those emotions. Why are we having this emotional response right now? Because the mood is about emotions. It can also be about confusion. It can also be about like, you know, illusions. The moon comes out and illuminates like the darkness, right? So it kind of like brings stuff out from the darkness. So that's kind of what we're seeing here. Um, and then we have the Knight of Pentacles on the back, which tells me that like this change has already been put in process. It's been a long time coming. Things are moving fast right now, but there's still going to be like a waiting period. Because look, we only have a seed. We don't have a whole tree yet. We only have a seed. So it's gonna be a steady process. It's gonna be a slower process. It might be uncomfortably slow. But it is happening. And so that's why they're saying, while you're waiting, while you're taking this time to allow for the process, take care of yourself, take care of your needs, get your sleep, get your rest. Make sure that your thoughts are stable. Make sure that you are in a headspace where you can allow this to come in. Because sometimes when we're not in that headspace, we can actually create things that we don't want, right? And so that's why they're saying like it's so important to kind of really take care of yourself right now, really make sure that you're, planning ahead for all of this. But yeah, this looks really, really good right now. So yeah, it looks great. So let's pull some advice and then I will let you guys go enjoy your full moon. So I love this message though. It's awesome. I hope this resonates for you guys. Um, let's take my favorite angels and ancestors. And what is the advice for everybody for this full moon in Aries? Remember, this full moon in Aries is about empowering yourself. How do you empower yourself? What's in your control? What is not in your control? So, what is the advice for everyone for this full moon in Aries, please? What is the advice? We have the shaman, trust in higher forces. I love it. What else do we have? So divine timing is at play here. We have mountains, stand your ground. So we still got some obstacles here. We got divine timing. We got like, you were made for this job, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever this is about for you, whether it's money or love or family or something else, divine timing, you were made for this as part of your journey here on earth, and there's still some obstacles ahead, but nothing you can't overcome. And then we have stargazer, set your sights higher. So this is about like really trusting the process, having faith. Your wishes are coming true, so you really need to focus on, you know, overcoming these obstacles here. We have eagle, see from a higher perspective. So this is about you taking kind of like that eagle's eye view. It's kind of like looking at things in a different perspective, not just sitting with your emotions or your thoughts, saying, wait a second, let me step back and I'm going to look at this whole picture and I'm going to see the whole picture for what it is. And then I'm going to assess the situation. So this is beautiful. This is awesome full moon energy in Aries. I love this for you guys. I hope it resonates. Please let me know if this resonates, and I hope you guys have a great full moon in Aries.